Okay, Monty, come here this way, Monty. Come here this way, Monty. How do you come this way, Monty? Come here, buddy. What do you got? Alright, you don't even know we're on the show. We are on, buddy. Alright, so I just want to talk a little bit about my day today. It was kind of entertaining in ways, right? I think I made some lasting impressions on a few people that I talked with and that I engaged with, because I had to go pay my fine, because Yakima is full of basically there's corruption in the highest places, and I think a lot of cities like Yakima are, there's a lot of problems with drugs and gangs and people are using drugs because they're trying to escape the reality that they're living in, because actually the reality that we're living in is nuts, right? I mean, who would pay on every level to exist? And you're paying people, these public servants to perform roles for us, because I mean, like, we don't want to have to clean up the park all the time, right? So you hire public servants to clean up the parks, right? But then you've got volunteer groups that are running around doing the work of the public servants that are getting paid to do the work. And it's like, well, wait a minute, if we have volunteers doing a lot of these jobs, then we probably don't need to have these public servants getting fat on their wages for not doing their job, right? We've got judges that are absolute tyrants. Absolute tyrants. We've got police officers who are ignorant in their job. Do you feel supported? Do you feel served by the public servants? I mean, this is a great opportunity. Am I wrong? Am I just an evil person who has attracted all sorts of negative energy from the cops and stuff? I don't know. I don't. I mean, I believe in free will. That's why I made this channel. That's why I tattooed my hands. I know it's backwards in this, I think, but whatever. It's backwards of what we're experiencing in reality, right? We can't just travel from here to there without being bothered, We've got King John's tax collectors, just saying, hey, give us some money if you're going to drive, through here. If you're going to take your little car or your wheelchair on our roadways, you're going to pay us. I'm like, but I'm traveling on the right of way that pre-existed the roadway, and they don't go for that. They don't go for that. Even though it was a right before, they call it a privilege now. But I don't know. So anyway, they've extorted me. They threatened to take away my driver's license if I don't pay the fine, and they've extorted me for $704. But they broke it down into $30 payments if I can't afford all of that at once. Nice of them, right? That was nice of them. So I stopped in at the coffee shop, and I asked the lady. I said, hey, I'd like to buy this muffin, but can you give me all of my change back in like $1 bills, because I need at least 30 $1 bills so I can pay my fine. And she just kind of smiled and she's like, yeah, I'll make sure that happens. So she gave me a bunch of $1 bills so that way I could go to the courthouse and stand in line and talk with everybody and ask them if they're being extorted for money too when they've harmed no one. Did you just break a rule that somebody somewhere else made up, and then somebody that we're paying to protect us actually placed you in harm so they can charge you money because one of your headlights wasn't working? Right? And is this Nazi Germany that if you're not harming somebody, should somebody just be able to come up to you and ask for all of your papers and ask you to present all of the information that they could use against you in the court of law? Right? Hey, we need to search you, and you just need to go along with it, or we're gonna ticket you, and we're going to we're going to steal your money, and if you don't pay us money, then we're going to throw you in jail, and if you don't want to go to jail, we're willing to shoot you, right? Because the headlights out. This is the system that we're being told is a democracy, but it's not a democracy. It's supposed to be a constitutional republic. Our rights don't come from the Constitution. Some of our human rights are enumerated in the Constitution, so that way government and their minions, public servants, know what our rights are, and so they don't do anything that infringes upon that, right? And we have the free exercise of our rights, not to be infringed upon by some ignorant public servant who is operating outside of their professional jurisdiction and authority when they're infringing on your rights, right? But they don't even know that they're doing it. They are under-trained. It takes more education to become a barber than a police officer. Right? Does that make sense? Is that the way it should be? Ignorance of the law is no excuse unless you're the one enforcing it. I've got videos where the police have pulled me over and they said, "Well, you didn't have the right. You don't have license plates on." I said, "I've got a farmer's tab on my car." And he's like, "Well, I don't know about that." I said, "Well, then you need to be more highly educated." He's like, "Well, I need your driver's license, registration, and insurance." I said, "I've committed no crime. Nobody can file a claim against me." I said, "I'm not giving you any of that." I said, "You need to, you could run the little numbers on the tag, but it's a lifetime registration. So get bent, man." I drove away. I didn't drive away right then. He came back and he's like, "Oh, well, are you this? Are you?" He said a name, and I was like, "Well, I'm not that." And he's like, "Oh, well." I said, "All right, well, have a good day," right? Because, and I drove away. And anyway, today, went and paid my $30 fine, and I had $31 bills in my pocket. It looked like I had a lot of money, but it's not really a lot, it takes, usually, for most folks, it takes a couple of hours just to earn that $30, right? And so when it was finally my turn to go up to the counter and pay my extortion demands so they won't come and get me, they won't haul me away in cuffs to throw me in front of a judge, or steal my license. They say, "Oh, well, we wouldn't do that. We're just going to take your license." But then since they think that you need to have a driver's license to be able to go from here to there in your big block powered wheelchair, I'm disabled. Come on, I can't carry all that heavy stuff from here all the way over to there. But I'm not doing it for money. So if I'm not doing it for money, it's not commerce. That's not traffic. That's not driving. It looks like driving, right? But if you look up the definitions that the Supreme Court uses, the Supreme Court defines whether or not a law or a definition is going to align with constitutional limitations that have been placed upon government, right? And the Supreme Court knows that a driver is somebody who is conducting commerce on the roadways, meaning that they're delivering products or people for money. Well, since there's a motivation for them to deny the maintenance or whatever on their vehicles so that way they can make more money, or to be driving really fast back and forth and all over the place to make more money, there's a lot of regulations that are intended for commerce, right? Now if you're just driving from here to there to do life, well, that's a right. You are exercising a right. And there's a lot of law. I don't have the paperwork with me, it's downstairs still, but you can look it up, and it's more empowering for you to look it up, because then you're not going to be questioning if I'm just bullshit, Look up rights to travel cases, Supreme Court, and you'll see that there are a lot of long-standing Supreme Court decisions that support your rights to travel. So, anyway, so I got to the counter. I got to the counter, Monty. And the lady said, "Oh, what can I do for you?" I'm like, "Well, I'm here to pay my extortion demands, so that way people won't hunt me down, right?" And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, do you have your license?" And I was like, "Well, I have this piece of paper that they sent me." And so she was able to put the case number and all this kind of stuff towards it. And so then I pulled out my wad of money, right, my $1 bills. And I said, $1 being extorted from me when I didn't harm anybody. I was just exercising my rights. $2 extorted from me, and this is ridiculous, and I don't even know why I'm here, except the fact that you guys would send men with guns after me. $3, $4, and every one of these dollars is unfolding and folding in different directions, and I mean, you could look at her, you could just see her going, "Really? Is this my Wednesday?" I'm like, "It is. It is." This is your Wednesday because you choose to work for an oppressive regime, right? It's called statism. And if you believe in it and you support it, this is the kind of Wednesday that you're going to get to have. And I'm heavily medicated, so I'm cool about it, you know. I mean, I'm not mad. I mean, I am the mad monk, but Monty, lay down. Lay down. That's a good boy. All right, just lay down like that. All right, big guy. But so I'm not like mad about it, really. I mean, it sucks whenever somebody's stealing your money, right? But how long are you going to let it suck? You know, I mean, like, are you going to really bring me out? Oh my God! Or are you just going to be like, all right, well, it is what it is, and until people wake up and stop supporting evil stuff, it's just going to keep happening. So that's why I make these videos, though. I try to bring awareness to ideas that maybe in this culture we're not sharing, right? I mean, maybe it's a you know, if it's a stupid idea, then you can just turn it off and you don't have to ever think of it again, right? But if it's an idea that kind of makes sense, then you can kind of embrace it and recognize how that might implement the things in your life that you support. So here I am, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8. I said I had to do dirty things to be able to make this money, you know. And I said I'm going to be back every month for the next 2 years. So my name's Rob. It would be nice getting to know you. You might want to be calling in sick on Wednesdays, because and then I might come in on other days, because you know, I mean, I just like to engage with you guys and let you know what people are really thinking, because there's a lot of people who they're just afraid to say anything to anybody in what they believe to be a position of authority. All right? Oh my God, you have a title and a badge and a costume and you've got really nice clothes on that we've paid for, all right? Yeah. You know, the public servants have vacation homes and jet boats and toys and you know and houses that you know that they're affording on your dime, right? And then they're stealing your house when you don't have enough dimes to give them in the form of taxation. Does that make sense? Is that the way that should be? That you've bought your property, but if you've come across some financial hardships where you can't pay the thousands of dollars every year that they want for maybe things that you're not even interested in or that you even think that is a good deal. You know, like the public school system, it really sucks. I mean, I hated it from like day one kindergarten. I was like, screw this sucks. And then I read a book that told me to don't what did it say? It says it's not wise to allow schooling to get in the way of your education. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, huh? Right? So I did just enough to get that piece of paper because, you know, that's what everybody's supposed to do, right? But then as soon as I was done, I was like, I'm out of here. Screw this stuff. I'm gonna go live life. And I learned a lot from the universe because the university wanted to charge me too much. And while I was running my own business without a college degree, I was making more money than a lot of my friends who held college degrees, right? Because they got a college degree so they could go work for a corporation. They got a college degree so they could get a comfortable job, right? Well, now they're fat and their backs hurt and they got diabetes and they got all these issues going on with them because of the atrophy in their body. Well, I mean, I worked in construction and I do yoga. And I do movement and meditation, and I do the things that keep a person healthy, happy, peaceful, and abundant. So anyway, yeah, I just want to tell you about my day a little bit. So, yeah, I don't think she's looking forward to me coming back every month for the next 2 years. But then neither am I. So, if they wouldn't be stealing from me, then I wouldn't be in there paying my bill with $1 bills. I'm thinking about moving to quarters because I was able to count 30 way too fast. So I don't know. We'll see. If this video is seen by 1,000 people, I'll do it with quarters next time. So, alright. Thanks for watching. Hey, Ray.